Hello, and welcome to your online class. My name is Lisa Storm, and I will be your instructor for this semester. I just wanted to make a brief video to introduce myself to you and show you some of the tricks of this online environment. Uh, the first thing I want to make clear, though, is you can contact me anytime for any reason. I would appreciate it if you reached out to me first before you start looking at online guides on how to take an online class or even going to the Canvas support. Just come to me first. If you need to go to Canvas support, I will let you know. And if it's something that I can quickly help you with, I will let you know that too. So the most successful students contact their instructor when they have questions, and you'll quickly find that I get right back to you with an answer so that you don't feel isolated and that you need to figure it out for yourself. But I'm able in this video to show you some of the basics of the online class by sharing my screen. And so let's get down to it. The entire online class is conducted through modules. So you want to get familiar with modules right at the beginning. So let me start by showing you some of the content in modules. There we go. And you'll see that every week of the class is a week in modules. So you're going to start by finishing the orientation. And this will help you so much. Once you've done the orientation and taken the orientation quiz, you will be familiar with my grading policies, what kind of assignments you're going to be completing, and what the due date is for those assignments. It's all very simple. It's all very straightforward. And it's not a lot of work to get a handle on this. But what's nice about the online orientation module is it's there for you and it never goes away. So you can always go back to it if you've forgotten something. And what's very handy is I've made a site map of the orientation module because it does have all the course policies and syllabus in it. And I've uploaded that site map to every module. So it's super convenient. If you, after you finish a module, forget, I forget how much weight that quiz had towards my grade, all you have to do is click on the site map. And these are all links to different parts of the orientation. So it gets you there very quickly. And since it's in every module, you'll never have to hunt around for it. So if you simply want to see the syllabus, of course, you just click on the syllabus link. And by the way, a lot of the things in the orientation module are interlinked. So you can always go to the bottom of a page like this. And if you don't see a way to get back, you just click on this back to orientation. It's at the bottom of every page, and it'll take you right back to the front page. But let's go back to modules now, because that's where you're going to be spending most of your time. And although this orientation looks very small in modules, which is nice, and the only mandatory parts of the orientation are the quiz, which you see here, and are the discussion, which is right here. The rest of it is just to help you do well on the quiz and also understand the class processes. Notice I said court. We work with courts a lot here. But when you go into the orientation, you'll see that it's very rich with information. And a lot of these pages, as I said, are interlinked. So this is just, so that you can browse and that you can understand what's expected of you during the course. So let's go back to modules here. Once you finish the orientation, meaning you participated in the discussion, and you'll learn that all discussions are group discussions. So participating simply means contacting your group leader, contacting other members of your group, and then letting your group leader post. If you're the group leader, of course, you'll have a different responsibility. But that's laid out very clearly. And if you have any questions, certainly ask me. And then you also have to pass your orientation quiz. This is the only quiz where this has to happen with 100%. But you'll be glad you did, because it teaches you everything you need to know about the course before you start. So you'll have a very good handle on the expectations before you start. Once you finish the orientation, you've passed the quiz with 100%, and you've worked with your group leader on the discussion post, which is really just an introduction. The first discussion is just to introduce yourself to everyone else. If you still have questions, go ahead and ask me here. And you can also look here as a student because you might see an answer to one of your questions, kind of like a frequently asked questions area. And I have these discussions also for the midterms and for the final because it's common that students have the same questions about the subject matter on the midterms and the final. So you can always look there and see if someone's already asked a question and get the answer so that you don't have to ask it yourself. But as I said, you get a whole week to do that orientation. Once you've done that, then you can move into the heart of the class, which will start on the second week of class. And each module is one full week of class. And all the modules are the same. So it's kind of nice. You get used to a routine. So you can see in module 1, and by the way, I'm using one video for all classes. This is a specific class that I'm using as an example, ADJ3. All classes operate on the same way, and they're all set up exactly the same too. So if you've noticed that this is ADJ3, and you notice maybe that the first module is called Introduction to Law, don't be confused if your class is a different class, your first module is called something else. I'm just using this again as an example. So each week you have a task list, and this tells you what you're going to be doing for that week. So module is supposed to be a week of work. And you can see the task list tells you that you have a textbook reading assignment. Presentation is going to be just sort of a counterpart, a lecture that matches up to the textbook reading assignment and has some pictures in it and a lot of verbiage. And you can also print those and study them, so they're nice. I do video lectures each week. These are short, just like this video, 6 to 7 minutes usually. And then in your first week, you have a discussion, but some weeks you'll have a quiz. And you'll probably find that it's more common to have a quiz than a discussion. There's only 3 substantive discussions throughout the course after the orientation discussion. All the rest of the weeks you'll be doing a quiz for homework because your midterms and final exam are very important components of your grade, and the quizzes really do help you study for those. And you'll learn very quickly that the quizzes are all practice quizzes. They don't count towards your grade at all. They're just to help you study and help you understand how you're comprehending the material so that you can do better on your midterms and your final. So you do need to do the quizzes, you do need to do the discussions, but they are not components of your grade unless you don't do them. If you don't do them, and you're allowed to miss 3 combined, so 2 quizzes and 1 discussion, or 2 discussions and 1 quiz, then it will drop your grade, 1 letter grade, because I do want you to do them. They're helpful for you. They're going to help you perform better in the class. But all this information is set forth in the orientation. Right now, I'm just kind of giving you an example module. So let's come back from the task list and see what else is in the modules. You're always going to understand your learning objectives for the week before you do your textbook reading assignment and your presentation. So it gives you an idea of what the content is going to be for that week. So you'll see that right away. You'll get a prompt, and this is going to become repetitive, but certain things you can never say too many times, with some study tips every week, depending on if you have a discussion or a quiz. You're going to have a video and reading assignment every week. And some of these are in a textbook. Sometimes they're online reading assignments. Primarily, they're textbook reading assignments. But you see it's set forth there. And then this is the video lecture. Again, these are short, just like this video. Oops. And then this is the presentation. Let's take a quick look to see what I'm talking about here. It's similar to a PowerPoint, except it's accessible for students with disabilities. And so it just sort of lays the material out there like a lecture. And every presentation at the bottom has a link that you can click on to download it so that you can print it and study it if that's how you prefer to learn. Then this is the homework. It's either going to be a discussion or a quiz. And this assignments and grading is just so that you can be reminded how much this counts towards your grade. It doesn't unless you miss more than 3. And then at the end of each module is a module wrap-up. Not only does it tell you what you've done that week, it gives you a preview of what you're going to do in the upcoming week. And then it always has an optional assignment. Now, optional is not even for extra credit. This is literally just to help you learn, and I will answer these, but they don't give you any credit at all. So it's sort of for fun and it's sort of for learning. Sometimes there are cases like this was, so you have to read the case and then answer the question, and you do that by messaging me or sending me an email. And sometimes there are articles, and you read the article and you do the same sort of thing, answer a question by email or private message. And since I'm talking about communication with me, I do prefer private messaging to emailing because it has all your class information in it. It's very self-contained. So, and all my private messages go to my email anyway, so I never miss them. So I would recommend private messaging me if anytime you have a question. And you can do this by clicking on inbox, very simple. You see, we have all the information there. Just send me a quick message and I'll get right back to you. And that's it for this introductory video. Again, if you have any questions about anything, please don't hesitate to private message me. And I look forward to working with you. I think this is going to be a great class. Take care.